Hello, Karen Lynn from Rise here. Welcome back if you've just watched the previous two videos on breaking free from the emotional roller coaster. If not, if you haven't done that, I would actually advise, these videos do stand on their own, but for this one, I would actually advise that you'd watch the previous two because that will help with this video. Okay, today is the main tool, the best tool, I think, for helping get you off that emotional roller coaster. And it is simple, like all the tools that I'm going to share with you. It is really simple, but if you do it right, you will help yourself to be able to feel and release the emotions and not end up dragging them around with you for weeks or maybe months. Now, before we get started, I just want to read to you a testimonial from one of my clients who used this tool. I think that part of the reason that she feels this way was because she learned to use this tool to its best advantage. And she says, "My friends are surprised at how calm I am. I know that I would have got lost in my own anger without your support. I'm now handling my divorce negotiations in a much more effective way." Now, yeah, I hope a lot of that is my mentoring, but also I really think this tool plays a big part. Once you can calm your emotions, then you can deal with whatever other changes you have to make in your life at this point in time. You have to make some, you have to be able to think clearly. You have to make some decisions, and you can't do that while you're stuck on the emotional roller coaster. So we want to try and get you off that emotional roller coaster. Now, the first thing you need to understand about your emotions is they are simply energy that needs to move. Okay, so emotions are energy that need to be in motion, literally. And clearly, when we start to feel them, they are somewhere in our body. You might feel them in different places. The most common two places to feel are the heart and the solar plexus, but it could be at other places in your body. There's no right or wrong to that. And we're going to feel and release these emotions, but we're going to feel and release them without adding a story. Now, for many people, this is the difficult bit, and myself included. When I got divorced, my now ex went off with somebody else. So as you can imagine, when I was sat in the anger or the sadness or whatever emotion it was, the story could go quite easily like this. Why? Why has he left me for somebody else? Why couldn't he even have told me about this? Why has he left it so that I've had to find out? I've had to follow the clues, and I've had to follow him until I saw them together. Surely after 30 years together, I deserve to be told the truth. That was the least he could have done. To tell me himself rather than let me have to go and find them together. Why would he do that? Now, can you imagine all the time I'm saying these things, how I'm feeling is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So rather than making myself feel better, I'm actually enlarging the emotion, which is not what we want. So with this technique, we're going to use our breath to focus on the area where you feel the emotion, but you don't tell any story, no words. So all breathing, no words. Right. So you imagine that you are at some point where you're feeling quite overwhelmed, the tears are flowing, or you're feeling like you want to hit somebody. The first thing you need to do is to decide whereabouts in your body you're feeling that emotion. And as I say, it could be one of the two main places, or it could be any other part of your body. Once you've established which part of your body the emotion is, all I want you to do is to sit quietly and just breathe into that part of your body. Now, I know that sounds a little bit odd, and I know some people think, well, I don't have to do that. All you have to do is set the intention. As you're breathing in, set the intention. Just imagine that you're sending that breath down to, say we're doing it with our heart. Say, I feel the emotion in my heart. So as I breathe in, I imagine that I'm sending that breath to my heart, and then I breathe out. I'm still allowing myself to feel whatever I'm feeling, but I'm not adding a story to it. I'm just sitting in it. It just is energy that needs to move. And you can talk to yourself and say that this is what you're doing. You're just allowing this energy to move. All this intensity of emotion is just energy that needs to move. And you're giving it the time and the space to do that. You are safe no matter how intense the emotion feels. You are safe. And just keep breathing into it and breathing into it. Now, you might find that you can consciously feel that energy start to move. With the lady that gave me that testimonial, the very first time we did it with her, it went from her stomach up to her heart and up to her throat. And then for a little while, it got stuck in her throat. She really thought she couldn't do it, but we just had to stick with it. Just stick with it, because there will come a point, if you use this technique correctly, where the emotion just stops and you go, oh, okay, it's just gone. And the reason is you've literally felt it, allowed it to come up and allowed it to go. Now, does that mean you're going to stop all the sadness for the rest of your transition to your single life? No. But what it does mean is that in that moment, you have dealt with the emotion that you were feeling. They may come back through, but you are dealing with them as they're coming and you're feeling them and you're letting them go. What starts to happen when you use this technique is in the first few days, maybe even a week, you feel like you're doing this all the time. But after not very long, maybe a week, 10 days, it starts to get less, because your body's getting used to the fact that you are allowing yourself to feel and release. Feel and release. Okay? It's such a simple technique. Now, if the emotion starts to come up and it's not a place where you can feel and release, just try and do some simple square breathing, allow it to stay. You are in effect just pushing it back down a little bit, but then tell yourself that you're going to give yourself the time later on in the day to actually feel it. And then when you've come home from work or whatever it is, the children are in bed, whatever the situation is, gift yourself some free time to just sit and feel, really feel. And no matter how bad it is, if you want to sob, just sob. But don't add a story. Just breathe into it. I know it sounds so simple, and it is, and it's really effective. Trust me. Give this a try, because this is the greatest tool. And of course, you always have your breath with you, so you can always use this tool. Once your body gets used to it, you'll find you're using it when the emotion starts and it never builds up to anything huge. Okay, give it a try. Okay, if it's good and you're finding it's working well for you, if it's not, it's maybe just that you need some guidance to get the thing started. The tool does work. It's just a little bit difficult when you're only listening to me and you've not got me there with you to sort of guide you through it. But it does work. Once you've found that it works for you, come back. Please like the video and then share this video. We want to get as many women in this transition to understand that they can have control over it and that they don't have to be stuck on this emotional roller coaster. You can take control. Don't let the emotions control you, but you do it by allowing them to be felt and to let go. You do it by realizing it's literally energy that is stuck in your body that wants to move. Okay, give it a go, and I will see you in the next video.